Do you remember how many festivals you have been to as a student, and which one was your favorite and why?
Probably the best festivals that I attended were the festivals at the National Guitar Workshop. And I was always there as a faculty member. At that time when they were active, they were bringing in top level players throughout the country, so you got a chance to work with people like Bear Waco or the LAGQ and people like that in a teaching situation. And consequently, you had a really good cross section of really good amateur players and really good young up-and-coming professional players on a collegiate scene. The other festivals that I thought were very interesting were the early American String Teacher Association festivals. In 1981, we hosted one of the ASTA conferences here, and so our headliners were Bear Waco, Isbin, and Gilia. And then we did a concert of Stephen Dodgen's guitar music. So the students at that time, the guitar students at Hartt, worked on all of Stephen's solo and chamber things. And Stephen flew over from England, and we did a concert for him. And then there were a bunch of different workshops. So that's probably the most memorable one for me.
What have you found most beneficial from attending festivals that's helped you in your career today?
First thing that I can think about is that when I attended festivals as a student, I was meeting the people that are going to be my competition, but also my colleagues throughout the rest of my career. And I'm still in touch with many of the people that I met at the festivals I attended when I was just as some of my schoolmates. We stay in touch, even if it's infrequently. It was the mixture of the master classes, whether I was performing or just observing, and the concerts. It was almost a guitar overload, and like I didn't want to play when I was done with my day because I'd heard so much guitar, but all I wanted to do was play, to try all the things that I had just learned. In addition to making relationships with people in the music community, and being able to interact with professional guitarists that, at the time in my life, really I only saw on the concert stage. So being able to interact with them on a more personal level really started to, I think, dispel a lot of some of the presumptions that I had as a student. Like, well, this guy's never suffered with this particular problem like I did, or something, and only to find, oh, wow, you went through the same things that I did, or worse in some cases, and overcame them, and here's how they overcame them. And it's almost like by doing that, I learned as much, if not in some cases more, than I actually would have learned in a master class with them, just by being able to have personal conversations with these high-level artists that would be presenting at the festival or teaching in class, because it's coming through in a very unadulterated manner. It's not being presented through whatever piece I was working on. It's being presented very personally. And those are things that stay with me today.
Do you encourage your students to participate in festivals?
Yeah. With some caveats, yeah. Okay? The average student is not going to get much out of taking a master class with 1, 2, or 3 different people, because you never get a follow-up. So you never get a chance to validate if what you took away from that first lesson is actually what the instructor wanted you to take away. Because of that follow-up, when you finish that week, everybody who teaches in that course knows who you are. And so therefore you can connect with them much more easily than if you played for somebody once, and then you come to them after you played, or you come back to them the next day and say, well, could I ask you some more questions about what I played for you?
Have you seen the benefits of the festivals in your students who do regularly attend them?
The big thing, there are 2 things that you see in all students that take the festival. And the first one Chris talked about briefly is that this is somewhere in the middle of the summer where the student, whether it be our students or somebody else's, can get back on track. Okay? But generally what happens when you're trying to get ready for a master class or for a festival, the sharp students are coming in and taking some lessons before the festival, and they're much more receptive to things they have to work on. So I can say to a student during the course of the year, this is the third lesson in a row you come in, and you've yet to play that phrase without a mistake. And the answer I get, well, yeah, it's a bad day. I normally don't have problems here. And okay, I'm just telling you, I haven't heard you ever play this. Now, when a student's getting ready for that festival, you never hear that comment.